Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Sunday the 29th. So, look out the window, see sun shining. There's not an overcast layer, so as you would expect, better forecast today. Slightly higher temperatures than yesterday. Similar sort of picture in terms of the weather chart, but it is very, very slightly different. Isobars, as you can see there, across us fairly widely spaced, but there's still this easterly flow, and I guess this sort of weak feature here is having some effect on slight change in air mass. Pressure over us about 1026. That's gone down a little bit from yesterday. That's probably all I can say on the chart here. But the one other thing is, if you actually play through the next 2 or 3 days, you know what? Not a lot's changing. We're still drawing in this either easterly or northeasterly flow. So it looks like we've got this weather for a little while. TAFs, well, they've changed quite a bit during the morning, but I think it tends to happen. They settle down now. It's saying here from Farnborough between sort of 8 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, variable 3 knots. All the other forecasts are showing light northeasterly and picking up a little bit during the afternoon, sort of anywhere between 6 and 10 knots by mid to late afternoon. But most places are showing few at 4,500 feet. Other places just cab okay, which means cloud, if there's any, there won't be any below 5,000 feet. So quite a good forecast in terms of what we're looking at the TAFs. Upper winds 10 knots, 030, 040. Looking at another forecast I've looked at. So that's up to sort of 3,000 or 4,000 feet. Across there, it's just saying 25 knots, 030. I'm not entirely sure what that's about, but I think you work on 10 knots, you won't be far out. SatPic shows some of this sort of mid-level cloud, 4,000 or 5,000 feet. I think once sun really gets going, temperature picks up, that'll burn off quite readily. Might linger a little bit for the next hour or so, but I'd expect to see it burning off. This stuff streaming off the North Sea isn't going to be an issue to us. Area of nice, clear skies. Currently, temperatures are building very, very nice at the Lasham weather station, and it's gone up 2 degrees in the last hour. It's now about 14 degrees. So I suspect by 10 o'clock, it'll be 16 degrees. And then approaching 11, you're going to be up to about 17 and a half, 18 degrees, which is trigger temperature. So temperatures of 21 degrees should be about right. BBC are saying 20 in this area. I think that's about right, and it's right down into the West Country, these sort of temperatures down on the coast. Too far into East Anglia, and definitely the effect of the North Sea being a bit cooler will be an issue. Dew points, they went down a long way last night, down to about 6 degrees. So I think currently dew points are climbing. They're about 11 degrees at the moment. I would expect with some thermal mixing by about 10 o'clock, looking at them leveling off. And then when it really gets going, dew points down to about 9 degrees. And I think by the end of the afternoon, we could see them down to about 7. So 20, 21 degrees, 7 degrees dew point, fairly high cloud base. And that seems to be what all the sounding models are predicting. So this is around here at 1 o'clock. I think the dew point's about 9. You're looking at probably 4,000 foot above sea level. And then by late afternoon, with 20, 21 degrees and dew points down here, should be looking about 5,500 feet around Lasham, maybe even 6,000 feet above sea level. That's fingers crossed that the dew points do the right thing. Further west, similar sort of numbers. Yeah, cloud base about 5,500 feet by late afternoon. I've looked to the Bicester Buckingham area, and cloud base is going to be down to about 4 anywhere north of there, so not the best area to go. The actual sounding, I've just left Nottingham's sounding in here just to show you. I think it's a reasonable representation of what we've got to get to. We've got to get to about 18 degrees to break that little nose of the inversion there. There's another one up here at about 5,500 feet, 6,000 feet. That'll move us and thin out as the day goes on. I think not a huge risk of spread out, but there might be just some to start off with. But fairly high and reasonably high cloud bases. Top Meteo is suggesting the same sort of thing. In fact, all the models are Skyside as well. This is this lingering cloud at sort of 10 o'clock. And then I think certainly by, that's 11 UTCs, but probably more like about 11 o'clock. Actual, we should start to see cumulus, and by 12 o'clock, they'll be quite well developed. I think we're going to see more cumulus up here. I don't think it'll be blue in this area here. There's too much moisture in the air. And as the afternoon goes on, yeah, that's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You're still seeing cumulus around here out to the west. I think you'll still see cumulus up to the Oxford area. That won't be a problem. And thermal heights, let's sort of look at it by sort of 12 o'clock. Top Meteo predicting it getting going. And then by sort of 2 o'clock, 1,500 meters, so 4,000 feet, maybe a bit more. And then as the afternoon goes on, 1,700 meters, 5,000 feet at least. So should be a good day. And it should go on till 6 o'clock, I would have thought. But really, you need to be aiming to finish your task about 5-ish, because the day's shut off fairly early at this time of year. Certainly by 6:30, it's completely done. And this is the predicted task area or suggested task area, certainly down to the west, and anywhere up to Oxford in this area here. Should be good. Wouldn't go too far north, into a little bit of Wales maybe, no further north than Cambridgeshire. So quite a big area to play with. I think they will be tasking in this area for the comp. Okay, so good day. Should go on till reasonably late, 5-6 o'clock. Hopefully it'll get going. We'll be launching the club grid before 12. Okay, so NOTAMs. Quick look here. So looks a bit busy as a weekend and bank holiday weekend as well, but it isn't really. Number 6 is just Southampton's hours of operation. They're slightly changed from published. Number 13 is gliding at Middle Wallop. 14 is high intensity radio transmissions, just tucked in here. Number 15, you've got parachuting at Amesbury. That's right in the edge of the danger area, early afternoon. Let's have a look at the timing on that one. There we go. It's 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, parachute display at Amesbury. So that's right in the edge of the danger area, if not inside the danger area itself. And then 21's paragliding. And then you've got the large area here, which just says you haven't got a danger area crossing service. Right. These ones don't really need to worry about too much. Reading Rock Festival's got a no-fly zone for drones. 29, 30 and 31. It's all tucked in the airspace. Henley-on-Thames air display, and a fly past at Henley-on-Thames. Another fly past at Wallingford. So not a lot going on there. It'll be low level, and it's all about sort of early afternoon, 13:40 to 14:40. Aston Down competition, that's the juniors, and Dunstable also has a comp. So they're up in these areas here. Tiny little pyrotechnic display at Abingdon, but nothing else to worry about. Out to the west, gliding at the Dorset Gliding Club is number 3, and really nothing else in this area here, to be honest, which is the best area to go and play in today. Right, operationally, same as the last 8 days, really. We've got club flying on the north side, circuits to the north. There's a fire truck out there at the moment, so grid next to the fire truck. If we can get going and do some launching before the competition goes, then we will. Then we'll launch the comp, and then we'll come back to club flying. Couple of requests: if you do launch before the competition goes, don't loiter about locally. The start sectors are going to get fairly busy anyway. You need to be a bit further away. And if possible, try not to race people around the task. Go and fly your own task today. And that's it, really. It will get busy when it comes back. Everybody's landing. Just make the best of landing on the north side. The competitors will all be approaching in from the west, landing in an easterly direction and landing long. Okay, hopefully see you out there fairly shortly.